Morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Di from 18 Monday Street Journals, and I'd like to just craft along today and show you what I've been playing with on the table. I've got some UV resin hard odourless 100-gram bottle. I've got it off Temu. It's the only place where I live where you can get it. You have to get it online. I've got a little UV lamp. I also purchased this off Temu for a couple of bucks. Just plugs into my USB on the desk, and you need that to harden the resin. I've got a pair of tweezers, I've got a pen, I've got a pin so that I can get rid of any air bubbles, and I've got another little Temu silicone little mat, which is really handy, so I can put the little things on and just slide it in underneath the resin light. I've got a pair of wire cutters and flat nose pliers, and I've got these little jewellery pliers just to turn the ends of wire. And you're going to need some wire. I have no idea what gauge this is. It's bendable by the hand, if that helps. I've also been playing with this 30-meter Portercraft coloured wire, and it's a lot thinner, and it's almost like a hair, but it comes in handy as well. So get what you've got and join me, because when you see what we've created, you'll want to do this too. Now, it's not my idea. I never have I never have any bright ideas of my own. Haha. I got this idea from Angie Garcia Art, and I'll list her below and I'll link her. She's an incredible artist. She's on the design team of Tracy Fox, so that'll tell you how good she is. And she's incredible. She's very grungy, and I'm not so grungy, but anyway. You'll also need a photocopier. I've taken what I'm doing, I have started working more in my personal journal, and everything that I learn, I want to put it in here, but with a personal twist, with pictures of my family and memories, and so we'll go through that later. These are brilliant for that. I don't know whether I should start a playlist and we should start working in, because to have your own journal and use it for memory keeping, for your personal life, for your parents' lives, for your family, that's just so special, because you can put little pieces of fabric in and lace off wedding dresses and pictures. Now, photos. I'm the keeper of the family photos, and I've got them all here. Beautiful black and whites of aunties, of grandparents, great grandparents, aunts and uncles, my first Holy Communion. I've got them all. Sometimes with journals, it's really hard to incorporate extra bulk and also get down all the memories that you want to keep. I'm already finding that I could easily run out of space, so I'm mindful that everything I put into my personal journal, I want to be as slim as possible. So what we're doing today is we are doing dangles, as this was the one that I saw Angie Garcia make, or something similar, where she had a big paper clip, that's a 2-inch paper clip, and she wired on a photo. That's just a Tim Holtz photo, because that was my very first practice run. She got the wire and she made the circle, then she tried to attach it. She did a lot better job than me. I've never worked with wire much, but as she said in her little tutorial, play with it. Find your own way, whatever works for you, as long as you can get it to sort of stand up. So that stands up quite well, and that can go in your book, your journal, and I think that is so sweet. So that was my first attempt, and here I've used the tiny little bits, that tiny little copper wire, because I found it was slipping. I couldn't get this tight enough onto the top of the paperclip, and it was sliding. So by wrapping the tiny little copper wire on either shoulder, I was able to force it to stay up. So that's just something I came up with. Now I've also done this one. That's a bit bigger. That's of my sister and me, and I've put a little ribbon on the top. There's a hole there to secure it to either a tab or a paper clip or a bulldog clip, or a dangle of some sort, just to. And what it is I've used photocopies. I don't know whether that camera will pick that up, but it's very transparent, which I like. Now this was an old black and white. Here I've used a colour, but I've printed it out in black and white. That's the same picture. And what you're going to need is something to trace around for the size you want. Now this size, well, that seems bigger than that. What was that, I wonder? That must have been, yeah, that must have been one of these. Find something round and smooth so that the wire can slide off. So I used that, and I used this little trinket one. I think that was that size? Yeah, I think it was. And I used, for a tiny one, where's my tiny one? Look at that. And I've double-sided that one as my uncle and auntie. I double-sided that. Isn't that adorable? And then coated in the resin, and that was the size of the cap of this little glitter bottle. So you need to take whatever you're going to trace around and put it on top of the photo that you want to, the image you want to take out. I haven't really thought this tutorial through like I normally do, so my apologies for that. I'll use the bigger one here. No, I won't. I'll use, what was I using? Oh yeah, where is that? Oh, I put something down for 1 second and then I can't find it. Yeah, there it is. This is an acrylic rolling pin for clay, but it's also got a good little size on it. So I put that over the image. That's my little sister, isn't she gorgeous? And then I just took a pen and I went as close in as possible, and I traced around the circle around her face, and that's what I'm going to cut out. And I'm sure I had another one just sitting here that I'd done before. Where is that? No, that's double-sided. Okay, well that's all right, we'll do another one. And then I'll go around my face. Like so. Then I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and at least, I mean, you could cut into the real photo if you want, but I chose not to. I thought, no, I'll do a black and white because I wanted to look vintage. Well, I am vintage, so. Now when I cut it out, I try and go right on or a little bit to the right of that black line, as close as I can. Right, so you get the picture there. It doesn't matter that you can see the black. That does not matter at all because it's going to be covered in resin. So there's one. I may as well cut the other one out. I had not seen this done before. I saw Angie doing it, and I saw, who did I see? Was it Artie Mays or G Kerr? The other, was it G? Is it G Kerr? They were doing some jewellery with their UV resin, and I had purchased the resin months ago, and it was something that I had yet to play with. And then I saw Angie do this, and I thought, oh, that's perfect. Okay, so get your little wire. I chose this wire. I wish I knew the gauge to tell you, but you can see that it's not very thick. And then I'm going to cut a good length off, like that. Then I'm going to take what I traced around, and that's why it's got to be slippery plastic. And then I start it by hand. I go in as close as I can there, and then I start to twist. And then I take my pliers and I twist it tight, and I tighter and tighter and tighter. Right up against until it's really tight. Okay, so it should be just a bit stiff to get off, but it will come off. Before I slide it off, I'm going to cut these down a little bit. I mean, you might work with wire better and be able to do this easier. But for me, I had to figure this out. So I've cut that down, and then I'm going to take my little ones, and I'm going to curl that around, because that'll be the hook that we can hang it with. I hope you can see this. And yeah, I'll go under. So they look like Mickey Mouse ears, but they're good enough. They're good enough hooks. And then slide it off like so. And then what we're going to do, this is going to be double-sided. I've been working with the art glitter glue, and it's brilliant. It dries clear and it sticks metal to paper. So I'm going to flip one over, just trying to get them so that they're the right side up, so both heads are facing the same way. I'm going to put some on. I'm going to pop that on top as well as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then that will sit in there like that. Now what I do here is I make sure that is pressed down on the table so that you get a nice flat circle, so that it can have the glue to stick to. I'll just press that down flat as well. You don't want it sort of sticking up in the air. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Now what I do is I take my art glitter glue and I do quite a thick bead around the outside like that, and then I sit the wire down on top of it. Now it looks a bit messy, don't worry, it's going to look absolutely amazing when that dries. If you want to help it on its way, you can take a little bit of baking paper, although it's better not to, just leave that air dry. Right, and I've got several more to do, so we may as well, am I on camera? Am I in frame? That's better, isn't it? So I've got quite a few lined up. I've got a big one there, that's of my mum, and on the other side is my dad. So I'm going to go around this one as well. I mean, you may as well come for the ride, and then I might pause it while they dry. You can always use the pin to smoosh it under the wire. I thought, oh, this is going to look awful, but it all works out. Trust me, it does. That looks really awkward actually, but I'm going to put some more glue on. Okay, and I'll do the others, and then because I won't torch you, and then we'll come back when they are dry. Okay, we're back. I can't wait any longer. As you do, as you do, as you do, as you do. Okay, so what we're going to do is, there's one, let's do one at a time. Let's do that little one. That looks like it's not too bad. Okay, now safety first with UV resin. Well ventilated area. This is odourless, and it's anti-yellowing. It's a UV curable resin solution. So very, very carefully apply. And wear gloves if you're, intolerant to anything like that. So I'm just going to leave that on my little silicone mat. I'm going to turn on my UV light, and I'm just going to gently go around the perimeter. And then fill in the face. I'm trying not to get any bubbles, because I've learned that bubbles aren't good. That doesn't look like it's got any bubbles in it at all, but if there was, I have a tool, a pin, to try and get that bubble out. I found that they were difficult, so I try and push them over to the side. I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to push it in underneath the UV light and leave that on for maybe, how long? Maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And then I'll show you what it looks like, because I've got to turn it over then and do the other side, because I want this a double-sided image. So I might just pause you and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, I've just taken it out, and I can just tap it lightly, and I can hear click, 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 so it's nice and dry. That's not bad. Now I'm going to turn it over. The other thing I wanted to say is, because they're black and white photocopies, that doesn't look like a crisp image. But when you put the resin on it, it's like it darkens it and brings it to life. So I think when you're putting it on, if you don't squeeze the bottle, if you just maintain pressure on the bottle, if you try and squeeze it and then squeeze it again, you will get air bubbles. I'm thinking. I'm starting to get expert now. Now at this point, if you wanted to add a nice little diamond or something, now would be the time. Now would be the time to sit it in before you put it under the UV light. I'm going to just do that. Now this UV light is 60, 90 or 150, so I put it on 150. No one tells you how to use it or what to do. I don't think it really matters, as long as you just sit here and watch it and do the best you can. And yesterday when I first did it, I put it on until the blue light went out all by itself on the machine, and then I did the middle one until the light went out, and then I did it on the lowest setting until the light went out. So I was making sure. But the more I do, and probably because it's such a thin coat, the only thing is, like, if you don't get the wire flat, and see how that's got a bit of a curve to it. If I was to try and straighten that, I think it'd crack the UV resin. But it looks rustic, doesn't it? I really like it. And that's not double-sided, so you've got that plain back. But you could easily put a sticker on the back, or there was one I did of my son when he was born, and I've just written on the back. I did a cardboard round circle, and I wrote his date of birth on the back, which is a nice touch too for the family. If you should pass, they go, oh, who's this? God willing, someone in the family will want to have your beautiful memories. I don't know who's going to, when I pass, when my son's going to pass. That's the end of the line, which is really sad. But these things happen. Hopefully it'll end up in a crafts shop somewhere, or a Goodwill or a op shop, and they'll be able to go, oh, isn't this amazing? And someone will treasure it, hopefully. But being paper and things, the longevity, realistically, it's probably not going to be that long. Everything's got a shelf life, hasn't it? Anyway, I really like that. And that's a bit of a rusted paper clip too, so you could grunge it up, and you could have some rusty wire. Oh, there we go, the light's off. Let's have a look. Yep, I think that's good. It's more domed on that side than it is on that side. Actually, I might just pop it back. I just want to pop it back in again while we talk. Let's do the big one. So this time I want to put the 3 diamantes in. Actually, I should wait. Why don't I just, seeing as that's just having some extra, I'll put it on my little mat. These little mats are great. And I'm just going to pop it in there. You can see a bubble there. I hope you can see the bubble. I'm just going to see if I can pierce it. Doesn't like that. It's really hard to get a bubble out. But, oh, it's gone. Beautiful. Yay. And I'm going to put those 3 Mum Loved Bling. I'll put them on her side of the picture, up the top there. Hopefully in the middle. Oh, that's nice. Yep, I like that. And then I'll continue with, I've got a baby wipe ready to go. Just to clean up any little bits of messes. That one's done. I'll pop that out. Let's just fill this in. Oh yeah, it's got another couple of bubbles. As long as there's no bubbles over the face, it doesn't worry me if they're on the side. Look, there's one right at the end of my darling mother's nose. Just slide that over to the edge. Let's see if I can't get rid of that. It's a shame Mum couldn't have seen all these fun things we do while she was alive. She would have loved this. Make sure it goes right to the edge. It is hard to get the bubbles out, it really is. Because I'm thinking to myself, I should be quick. But anyway, I'm going to turn the light on to the highest and I'm going to slide that under. Oops, oh dear. Anyway, you do the best you can. And when I've done all of them, because I think you've seen good fun now, hopefully, we'll come back and I'll show you the ones I wired onto bulldog clips in my journal. So back in a minute. And we're back. This is the array of goodies that I have been happy to be playing with the last couple of days. So thank you, Angie Garcia Art. I'll leave the link down below. Everybody go and check her out. Tracy Fox's design team, hello. She is incredible. I love what she's done. So yeah, thank you for the inspiration. I've glammed mine up a little bit. Yes, I can get better. I think in future I will not use a pen to trace around the outline. I can see the pen marks. At this point it doesn't bother me. However, I wouldn't do it again. I'd just trace around in pencil, I think. But yeah, they're rustic and they're so cute. They're so cute. And I love working with resin. Apparently, there's a lot to learn. I searched on Temu and you can get, I've got one little resin mold off Temu, but there's heaps of other beautiful ones I'm going to get. Yeah, and there's a lot to learn. You can get some clear tape to put underneath the wire. You can even buy the round wires already done for you on Temu, and then all you have to do is fill it with the resin and pictures or whatever you want to do. So the sky's the limit. I hope you really enjoyed this. I had so much fun playing around with resin, and I'm definitely going to keep on playing with resin because it's got so many applications. And yeah, so click subscribe please. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you please would. If you've enjoyed this, please do so. Thanks to all my wonderful subbies for continually supporting me and coming back and watching. If you've watched this all the way through the end, please click that like button. I need my watch hours up. You can leave a happy comment. Even a smiley face would be great. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, go play, go have fun. So see you. Bye.